Welcome to Hearts of the Community with Jay and my brother.
It's June. I'm not gonna rap
Right.
this time because we got to get it over.
Yeah,
Oh, I wanted to, but I don't
you
care.
ain't had nothing for that. Um,
You got me.
Welcome back. Thank you all again for those of you that have subscribed and that have been with us on this. Something up at your screen is taking you. There we go. Needed that other shoulder. But thank y'all that's been riding with us, commenting, hitting us up left and right. We appreciate the community. Appreciate my brother. He been on the go lately, living life. Proud to see it. It's
Man.
dope to see, Brody.
Hey, y'all, don't let this boy get it misconstrued. He has been working. So, this is something we love, but we definitely set time aside. And he sets a lot of time aside to really work on the edits that y'all see, the sound effects, the visual effects. That's all him. So, man, I want to give a shout out to my brother. If we ever start making some residual, I already know it's going to be 60-40 his way, because he's been putting a lot of look. I don't think y'all going to learn this, but I don't care if he's saying no. What are you going to do when Zelle just pop up in his account? Like,
Send it
shut
back.
up.
Shouts out to Steph.
We'll be playing ping pong in this bitch. Because I promise that's one. Because I promise you, and I ain't did none of them push-ups.
I did a shout out too. We 1-1.
Hey, ping pong, yeah. But yeah, just shout out my brother, man. He got some visuals coming at. Y'all gonna want to pay attention to.
Yeah, I can say it. I just finished the kids' book. So I'm not gonna say what it is, but it'd be very beneficial to your children in the elementary, uh, middle school, uh, age, especially high school. I'm gonna do a high school edition of it too, but it's about basically just affirmations and figuring out yourself a little sooner than middle school. Or some of us as adults are still finding ourselves. But
Really
moving
quick.
on. Go ahead.
I think also y'all notice he stopped at college. It's because these books are supposed to help you. So by the time you reach college or by the time you reach an adult, you should be able to learn how to regulate. You should be able to learn how to control, how to manifest your own emotions, how to understand how to communicate. So these books is to teach you those things that maybe a parent didn't get a chance to, maybe a teacher didn't get a chance to, maybe a counselor didn't. So this book, is gonna be like that extra parent. You know what I'm saying? Just keep game,
That's
y'all.
dope because I haven't let him see anything but the cover, and that's exactly
I know
the
my brother.
approach.
He
That's
got his
exactly the
heart.
approach. Yeah, and then college, we'll get to college when I'm being like you here. I'm just waiting to receive whatever it is, the signal, the signs to dig to college in particular, and have something there. But I want to get to something that's important. So let me go through because we sent each other. My dope brother made a note. He's in a note app where we're able to kind of send stuff back and forth. Like what do they do it on Google?
Google Docs.
Google Docs. But Brody got it all set up, so we got all of these subjects. So today we're on the subject of scared to be vulnerable because people will bring it back up at the worst times. And before we dig to that, we were talking about something earlier, and I think it's just fitting for what we're talking about. We're talking about pity versus love. We're on two now. Shouts out to my family member who I won't mention at all due to what we spoke of, but you know who you are. You know how much I love you. But we were talking, and I told this particular person, you got to say that because that way they don't know if it's a male or a female. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you still trying to shout him out. So
old
ass. He trying to do it on the low. Yeah, thank you to this person.
Hey, that's cool. You can ring me up. You know what I'm saying, Dean? But look, I told the person at this point in your life, some of the messages that you are getting is not out of pity, but it's out of love. And I learned this through you, Drew, where we forget sometimes two things can be true, right? And I told this person, I said, some of these people still don't fool with you, and you don't fool with them, but they do love you. And since we don't know what unconditional love looked like for so long, we're able to generalize things and say, you know what, that's pity, that ain't love. Oh, we don't know what unconditional love is to even say. And there are people that will go out of their way Dad being one of dad come up in every podcast. Dad can be super pissed at you, but if it's an emergency, he gonna show up, right? And I think that is an example of unconditional love, right? And sometimes we see these examples and we don't even know what they are to call them. And I think that's the thing. And this is where me and you got to talking about it. You said you found the definition of pity, right? You were looking
Yeah.
it up.
So, but before we get into that, I think that's what's so it's so funny about humans and human nature is to assume it's to ooh. Oh my goodness. I'm glad you know already. So
Hmm.
it's to us like I don't I don't I don't even know what to do. Do we just keep talking?
Yeah, we only got 10 minutes anyway.
Okay. It's to assume. And something that is funny is that we don't define things for ourselves. Like, yeah, don't pity me. But no, what you really mean is don't belittle me. Don't try to come back and forth in my life whenever you deem it's an emergency or something is wrong. And that goes back to why people feel like we can't show compassion until we dead. Because you're not gonna be around you don't want to accept it. Like if we're not on good terms, you're not gonna accept the compassion because the compassion might have to come with something. It might have to come with us understanding neither one of us was wrong in the situation, even if you feel like you was right. Because I might feel like I was right. Is it worth not moving forward? Now there's situations where it's like money's involved. That's one of the biggest issues, right? So people be like, bro, don't pity me over the money that you owe me. Where it's like, do you want this money back or no? Like, forget or no, and you want to be done with them. Like you said, what was that? The Bronx Tale. You just bought yourself out of my life for $50. Like, that's cool. I don't gotta talk to you no more. I just loaned somebody $20 and they said they was gonna pay me back the next day. It's been a month. I ain't heard from them yet. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm not gonna see that $20 again, but it's cool because that I lent out what I knew I would be cool with losing. So when we talk about pity, we don't know what that definition is for ourselves. And so that's where it'd be like, man, don't pity me. Well, what does that mean to you? So for you, old you, what would you have defined pity as?
Pity is like coddling and babying me for a scenario that I'm going through. And I'm glad that you just asked me the definition because what it also does, it makes you remove somebody that might be there for you emotionally. So
Because I was
that's
just gonna ask you that. What does babying and coddling mean?
that's what it is. It's like I'm going through something. You're like, oh, it'll be all right. Like, man, don't tell me that. You just saying that because, and then that's where you generalize it. You saying that because all of this other stuff that I know me and you went through. So two things can't be true. We can't possibly have these issues over here, and then now emotionally you hear from me because you know me. Y'all know me by now. We got problem. Let's keep that
Let's
problem.
keep that problem.
Even when I'm going through something. Oh, y'all know it. We say it in our culture now. No, keep that same energy,
Yeah.
right? That's what it
And
is.
it's crazy. You said that because shouts out to mom and dad. Just
Now you do it. You cussing
open.
and shout outs. Boy, this guy.
Hey, I was hoping you was about to cuss. I was hoping you was about to cuss when you was gonna say it. I was like, he gonna get him
Nah,
now. This is the
no.
perfect opportunity. Like it ain't no easier layup for this nigga right now.
Nope, nope. Hey, boom.
Dos, working on my español. Hey, yo soy trabajando español. You feel me? But
You know,
no, so you tú entiendes. Yeah, I'm telling you, I know a little poquito.
I blow español poquito. Yeah.
Hey,
See,
hey, I'm using my third. Nigga just mumbled. He said, sí, a poquito.
yeah, I
Shout
blow
out in
español
Spanish.
poquito.
Shout
I
out my
speak a
Spanish.
little. Hey. Hey, we
Okay.
we got the Spanish version of the book coming too. That's gonna be done purposely. But go ahead. You
Oh,
was
I'm
about
glad
to
you
rock.
said that. That's a short. That's a short. Um, but yeah, so I remember one time mom and pops was arguing about something, and it was over the way moms was trying to help pops. He was worried about something. I think it was medical, and she kept saying, "It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right." And he like stop saying that. And that's also a trigger response because you don't know if it's gonna be okay. So sometimes people view pitying as you taking the problem on yourself, which is what people don't want you to do. So instead of this is just an educational purpose. So instead of saying it's gonna be okay, say, how do you feel about that? how are you feeling about that? Because that takes you out of it and focuses on them. Because when you say it's going to be okay, it's almost you're talking like you know. And sometimes for people that's especially working in suicide prevention, we're never supposed to say it's going to be okay because
Mm.
that could be triggering for them where it's like, well, I've heard that before and it didn't get better. So you know what I say? Well, sometimes when you feel like you're at your lowest, the only way is up. And if you feel like you can still go further down, then you're not at your lowest. That means you got something to work with. And that a lot,
Oh,
you
you
feel
know,
me?
we brothers. Long time ago, I used to work in the medical field in cardiology, and people will always say, "I say, hey, how you doing today?" Just me being who I am, and they were like, "Could be better," and I'd be like, "Could be worse too, right?"
Mm,
And it will always get them, like, man, like I'm not dead, which how some
yeah.
people feel like that's actually even better, depending on how you look at it. But your situation right now in the flesh could be worse than what it is, and you could feel it, and it could be better, right? So we're in the middle. But
Yes.
my question to you is it okay to prepare for something like that? Like, hey, Jew, if something happens to me, this is how I would like for the scenario or how these questions to be like, hey, don't, because I feel like that's a thing that could be done too, where hey, like if anything ever happens to me serious, please don't speak to me like this or don't say that. But that seems corny. Is that
No,
possible?
the reason it seems corny is because that's the vulnerability we're talking about. You're now putting yourself out there, and that takes a level of uncovering yourself. That's why sometimes, like, Yahweh willing, in the future, I might offer smoking sessions because sometimes we're able to disembark on that pride that we have when we are allowing ourselves to just be vulnerable. Sometimes smoking puts you in a headspace that allows you to be vulnerable and done in like a secure space. It might allow you to be open and talk a little bit more freer. And this goes back to our definition of pity. So the actual
Hold
definition
on,
of
before you get to that, that's
okay,
legal smoke,
yeah, because
right?
I'm in Washington.
Okay. I just want
Yeah,
to,
yeah, just making sure. Yeah, and only above 18 and like really 21 because I want you to have a under the age of like 16, heavy use of marijuana can affect your brain and affect how your brain develops and affect your cognitive processing. It can affect your decision making and it also can impact your sleep if you use heavy before the age of like 16 and things like that.
and you can get a bad anything, especially these days. Like,
Yeah, and if you at home with your parents, you can get that ass whipped. That's full. Uh, So pity, the definition of pity. That was a good one. I feel like that should absorb like three of them. That's what I feel.
no, no, it wasn't
Oh,
that funny.
so pity. This would be actually a good thing to end on and pick up next session because I think some people don't understand. Like you actually have to define words for yourself to uncover why can't you be vulnerable. So when we talked about like why can't I just tell a person, hey, I want to be spoken to like this, it's because you feel like whatever your definition of pity might be, that might bring it. So
Mhm,
pity, the feeling of sorrow and compassion caused by the suffering and misfortune of others. To me, that sounds like somebody that cares about other people. Like,
mhm,
no matter what the situation is, like I could not give a fuck. That's my last one about people, but be hurting for people in Gaza. I could not care about people, but not appreciate what's going on in Ukraine. There's a middle ground there where people don't understand pity is a good thing. We need to have pity. It's almost like you it's almost like there's a such thing as too much pity where you're now enabling a person, but
mhm,
people don't have
mm,
their own, you know what I'm saying? People don't have their own definitions of things. And when they come up with these definitions, most time they're seen in a negative light because they never stop and actually look up the definition. Because even the
mm,
second definition, a cause for regret or disappointment. What a pity we can't be friends. Like, dang, I wish we could be friends. It's a pity we can't. Like, I'm sad. That's sorrow. I'm upset.
mm,
And we don't want to accept that because we're so used to having to be hard. And this is actually a curse that the Bible speak of. I will turn the eye that's your brother that has a soft eye towards hatred towards each other. We don't even know why we're upset with each other. Like you don't even know why pity hurts you. It's because it's just another form of
it's the
love.
tone. It's the tone of the word used. So it's not pity. It's more pride. That's what we talked about.
And I think that's what we pick up at how pride inhibits vulnerability. Maybe
Mm,
that can be the next session.
Yeah, we can do that.
And this was Parts of the Community with my brother Jay and his little brother Jew. I speak in third persons because I do what it do. I'm a rhyme too. Every time we get on this beat, I'm a rap. And ooh, I ain't had nothing.
You sounding like 92 right now. Like 1992 right now. That's what you sound like. Old head. Peace to y'all later.
I went to the rap store today.